oh, someone's turned our whole family into cursed spiders. If you can get the medals, you can save us. But if you don't want to, if you've got something better to do, don't worry about it.
This month on Podemup, we're playing a relatively unknown underwater platformer for the Nintendo DS. It's the Legendary Starfy. Elsewhere, Tibbs has finally got into Zelda, and in a big way, though he still can't help himself from having a bit of a moan. Join us for that and some other stuff in episode 58 of Podemup. Hello, welcome back to Podemup. You're listening to episode 58, to be precise, of the popular long-running podcast. I am Ollie, and the other man here is Tibbs. Hello, Tibbs. Alright. So, first proper episode of 2024. We'll ignore the fact that the last episode also came out in 2024, but that was last year. That's over now. That's over and done with. We're on 2024 now. Season 7, I think, if you're counting seasons. Which we aren't officially, but we sort of are.
I was going to say, I didn't know we were, but yeah, okay, I'll go with that.
We're not, because some podcasts have named their episode season whatever episode. I think that's, I don't know, I find that a bit weird, almost a little bit pretentious as well.
Yeah.
But unofficially there are seasons, I guess. So we're in our seventh year, I think.
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy, really, doesn't it?
Does really. Yeah.
So Legendary Starfy today.
I got a confession straight off. To be honest.
You haven't played it?
Not very much.
Oh, okay.
Not very much at all, I'm afraid. Kind of let the side down on this one, but I've been absorbed with Zelda.
Well, this was going to be the thing I was going to lead into. You've discovered Zelda since our last episode. Finally, you've seen the light
in a big way.
Yeah. Wow. So go on, tell us all about it then.
I don't know. I just thought, right, I'm going to give this, because I enjoyed it when we played Minish Cap.
Yeah.
And I always meant to go back to that, but I never went through and finished it. And I thought, okay, well, what's the one everyone talks about, Zelda? It's Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened upon a deal for the 3DS versions of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Got them like super cheap. So I thought, okay, 2024, I'm going to give it a proper go.
Yep.
So I started with Ocarina of Time, and it didn't click with me straight away. I had to, it took a while for it to really sort of click, but once it did, I've been completely hooked, and I couldn't put it down.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's such a good game. Yeah,
it is good. I did have a few criticisms.
Yeah,
I have to say. I would put some of it down to just like older game design.
That is the thing, yeah. I mean, some things just don't age as well, and things are sort of improved over the years. So.
But then I've gone on to Wind Waker as well, and I've noticed a couple of things in that as well that I don't like, but not enough to put me off of it. It's overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're just so good that any sort of niggles you have just sort of melt away a bit, don't they, to some extent?
Yeah. I mean, the two things that immediately spring to mind was Ocarina of Time. There's a bit where there's like a big fish thing, and you got to get it to open its gob.
Oh yeah.
And to do that, you got to entice it with a smaller fish.
Yeah.
And just like right next to where that dungeon is, there's a fishing mini game. So obviously, I think, right, get the fish from the fishing game. Bring it to the big fish. I couldn't get it to work. Every time you catch a fish in the mini game, when you leave that area, the guy behind the counter just takes the fish off you again. So I thought, okay, well maybe if you catch a big enough fish, then he'll be like, oh, I can't take this off you. Keep the fish as a reward. So I plumbed away at that bloody fishing game, and I was getting nowhere. And in the end, I had to look it up, and it's no, you just get a jar, and you just get an empty jar, and you just catch a fish in an empty jar in a different part of the level.
Yeah.
And the fishing game is it matters absolutely nothing to anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember you tweeting about the fishing game, and I don't remember really playing the fishing game very much. So I was thinking, hang on, did I play the fishing game or not? Because if it was a key part of the game, then I would have remembered it more.
Yeah, it's not a key part of the game at all, as far as I can tell. I don't know if you get like some special item if you keep at it.
Probably do, yeah, but
I don't know. And the other bit that got me, and this really irritated me, was Wind Waker. There's a bit where you have the two characters rediscover themselves as being sages, and you have to take them to the temple to, open up that part of the quest. So one of these sages is hiding behind a waterfall, right? And he's there because he's playing his little instrument.
Oh yeah,
and you can see the musical notes coming out from behind the waterfall. How'd you get in the waterfall? Well, I tried everything. I tried playing the Wind Waker, all the different melodies outside the waterfall. I tried going all around the island, looking for a way in. Tried going all over the place. The way you have to do it is you swing on a rope just above it, and you have to let go at just the right time that you fly into the waterfall, and it will just take you through into a thing. You don't do that anywhere else in the game. It's never suggested that you can swing into an apparently solid wall and go through it at any point in the game. There's no indication on the waterfall, not like a faint outline of a little crevice behind it. There's nothing. And when you get in there, the little guy goes, "Oh, I'm surprised you found me." You're surprised. You're surprised. I was not impressed. I was not impressed. I spent ages, and again, I had to look it up, and I was like, how was I supposed to figure that out? I don't get it. I don't know. But other than that, it's lovely. I've been having a really good time with it. But it does mean that I've not dedicated as much time as I should have done to the Legendary Starfy, so I've nowhere near completed it, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, that's all right. Should we talk about anything you liked about the games then?
I like plenty about them. I really liked. It shouldn't take me that long to think about it, should it?
It's a great game. I absolutely loved it. I've got these problems and nothing else I want to say about it.
Yeah. What I liked. I actually liked Link, because Link is one of the things that put me off it, to be honest, because he's got that daft hat, and I know I know it's shallow, but it's one of these things where you just. Do you ever get it where there's like a game? There's another game out at the moment. Is it called Pizza Tower or something?
Oh yeah, Pizza Tower. Yeah.
Everyone's going on about it.
Yeah.
I can't bring myself to play it because I hate the art style.
Do you?
Yeah,
oh, right.
I hate it, and it's one of these things that it's probably a really, really good game, but I just can't get over that art style, and that's what it was for Zelda for a long time. It's just like, what? It's that daft floppy hat. Why is he wearing it?
Yeah. Incidentally, I did have Pizza Tower shortlisted as a book club pick.
Oh, really? Okay.
Perhaps I should remove it.
Well, no. Well, maybe not, because I put off playing Zelda for ages.
Well, that's true. You might discover your new favourite game. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I did just reminded me again though. There was one of the dungeons in Ocarina of Time. I can't remember. It was one of the temples. I can't remember which one it is. I went in. I had my red tunic on to protect me against the fire.
Yeah.
Right. I had not the best shield, but you know the one-up shield that you get, the adult shield.
Yeah.
So I go in there. There's like this gelatinous bastard on the floor. I don't know what he's called.
The likes.
The likes.
Yeah,
right?
everyone hates the likes. They're the worst.
He just
gobbles them up, doesn't he? Yeah, gobbles up your stuff.
Gobbled up the stuff, and then to get it back, I had to go and get all the rupees to buy a new tunic, and because I hadn't got the wallet upgrade yet, I had to go get the tunic, then go back, earn all the money again, get another shield, do it all, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. But I did it, so you know. I said on Twitter, I've been games for less in the past, to be honest. But so it's a testament to the fact I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I
absolutely. If you can survive that, yeah.
Yeah, I really like the time traveling. I like the. It's
good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. I love the. I don't know all the names. I haven't committed all the names of the different races and species to memory yet. The roly-poly guys who eat rocks.
The Gorons.
I love them.
They're great, aren't they? They appear in a lot of games. So
yeah, they're just lovely, friendly little guys. They like to eat the rocks. They want the best rocks from the mine to eat, and
that's right.
It's great.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, I mean, for Ocarina of Time, it's been quite a while for me since I played it. Wind Waker, I've played more recently. I played the Wii U port.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing.
So I struggle to remember a lot of the details of Ocarina. I think for both of them, when I first played them, because Wind Waker was my first Zelda game, and that I had the version on the GameCube which contained a second disc with Ocarina on it, like an emulation of it. So I played that sort of the following year. And I think perhaps the reasons I didn't get many of these frustrations is because I just cheated a lot and just looked up the solutions when I got even a little bit stuck. Which I tend not to do now. Like I didn't do that really at all for what's the recent one? Tears of the Kingdom. So hopefully I've learned since then. But
the thing is, I can see why you would do it, because some of the
them are pretty
aren't
obtuse.
Really,
yeah,
they are really obtuse.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the solutions you would really only stumble on through desperation and repetition and things like that. They aren't really easy to deduce what it wants you to do sometimes.
Definitely. It's just how much tolerance you have for that sort of thing. Because I can see people getting frustrated with that, and fair enough. You know, it is an ask, but it's also that it's just like any puzzle game. It's really satisfying if you can figure it out yourself and you can get there without sort of looking it up. Yeah,
for sure. I love the art style of Wind Waker, and I love the. I don't know if it's. I mean, it's obviously sort of a almost post-apocalyptic world because the whole of Hyrule's been sunk underwater. But it's a lovely world. What's left of it?
Do you know what? I absolutely love just sailing in that game. Just sailing around, that wonderful music that comes with you.
Yeah, you get the little seagulls following you.
You get the seagulls following you. You can pan the camera around. You can just see the islands in the distance, and as you get closer, they get more and more detailed. It's just wonderful. You know,
it's really nice. A lot of people that I read beforehand were saying like the sailing between the islands is like the worst bit of the game because there's just nothing happening.
Almost
but
the best bit. Yeah, I
was going to say you just got to soak yourself in that atmosphere of the game. I think, and once you're really into it,
it's quite a relaxing bit. I think you know, it's just one of those things where you're sort of one with the sea, and it's the way the sea is really done really well. Like technically, you know, it just bobs up and down, and you ride these huge like waves and things. It's just I love it.
Yeah, it's nice, and like it if you've just come out of like a really difficult dungeon or a really difficult quest, and you know it's been a bit of a stressful one, you know, you could just float about filling in bits of the sea chart.
I love doing that. I love
finding that. Go off in a different direction and just see what's there. And I love it. It's really good.
Finding the little fish guy, and he fills in your map for you. Has a little joke and stuff. It's great. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good. I really like it. The only thing I would say, because I think I'm right towards I would say the last sort of 10% of the game now. I'm basically just collecting the bits of the Triforce, and then I think it's the final dungeon now.
As I understand it, and I don't really remember noticing the difference, but in the GameCube version, that bit takes a lot longer. They shortened it in the Wii U version because people thought it took too long to find all those Triforce bits.
It doesn't. It's not that it takes too long, but there's a lot of artificial obstacles in the way.
It's
Like,
remind me, it's where you have to go and find them in the sea. They're sort of buried treasure, and you have to pull them out. Is that right?
yes, that's right. But in order to find them in the sea, you need to get a map. And in order to, you get the map, but then you can't read the map unless Tingle decodes it for you.
That's right. Yeah.
And Tingle charges you 398 rupees.
Oh yes,
for each
that's
one.
right. He charges you ridiculously high amounts of money.
Ridiculous amount. So, you know, what should be just get the map, get the thing, is now get the map, get the rupees, go to Tingle, decode it, then go back, then get the thing. It's extra steps added.
Yeah, I remember really hating
It feels like
Tingle
it's
for that.
padding, and there's no need for it. It's been a really nice adventure up to that point. There's no need to try and pad it out.
Yeah. Yes. You don't. Yeah. I agree with that. I remember getting frustrated with that. But definitely. Yeah.
But I've got. I think you need to get 7 or 8 pieces. I think I've got 5 now, so I'm really close to sort of finishing it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I noticed as well. I commented this on Twitter. How polite all the quest givers are in Ocarina of Time. Like, everyone you speak to is like, Ganondorf is ravishing the village. Oh, we need 15 things to save us. But if you don't want to, it's fine. You don't have to help us if you don't want to. Oh, someone's turned our whole family into cursed spiders. If you can get the medals, you can save us. But if you don't want to, if you've got something better to do, don't worry about it. You know, it's just.
I can't remember that detail, to be honest, but I'll take your word for it.
It's really notable. Like, everyone, even like you go into like one of the like little archery mini games. You go in there and the guy gives you all the spiel about why you need to play the archery game and how it's good and everything, and at the end he goes, but if you're not interested, don't worry. It's
nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just really polite. But then in Wind Waker, you meet this little bird bloke, and he's guarding this room, and he's like, oh, if only I could get a golden feather, because my girlfriend really wants a golden feather.
Yeah.
So I got him one. I go back, he goes, thanks, that's really good. Actually, can I have 20? So hang on.
How'd you leap from 1 to 20?
Yeah. Well, no, you can't.
Get
actually.
him yourself.
Yeah.
That is funny in like Zelda and a lot of adventure games where you just have to do these random chores for people. Like, do it yourself. Why have I got to do it? You know? Yeah. Lazy.
But no, it's I've been having a great time with it. I bought the Hyrule Historia.
I saw, yeah. Is that what's the most recent game in that? Have they done a more up-to-date version? Because I got it, I think, when Skyward Sword came out.
I don't think it's been updated since then. And I bought mine on eBay, so I don't know. It wasn't like the latest and greatest.
Right. Yeah, because I've seen it in like Waterstones quite recently still. So I wondered if they had a newer version out these days.
Yeah. No, I just picked it up nice and cheap. And I also bought, but I haven't played yet, A Link Between Worlds and Triforce Heroes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've
not even took them out of the box yet.
No, I've not played either of those. Triforce Heroes isn't that well regarded, I think, as far as I'm aware.
No, I only got it because it was cheap. It was like £11 sealed.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Yeah, so I thought,
that's good.
I'll have that.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm well on board the Zelda train now. So
I'm so glad to hear it. I've been waiting literally like 2 decades for this, for you to catch up on Zelda. So welcome aboard at last. Better late than never.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So have you had time for anything else, or is it just mainly Zelda?
No, it's been Zelda all the way. I've been playing a bit with I played through Sonic Mania from little bits.
It's weird you should say that. I've also been doing that.
Well, the reason I've been playing it is because I've been messing about with Pretendo, which is the Nintendo Network replacement for the Wii.
Yeah.
Wii U.
Yeah.
So it brings back it doesn't work with all the games yet, but it brings back lots of the Miiverse features for things like Super Mario Maker and Splatoon, lots of other games, and you get I didn't know it was called this, but apparently it's called the Wara Wara Plaza, where all the little men run down at the beginning.
Yeah.
When you boot up your Wii U.
Yeah.
When Nintendo shut it down, it just showed like little generic messages all around on the little icons.
Yes.
Pretendo Network brings it back so how it was before, so you see messages
nice.
from everyone on, going around what games they're playing.
Yeah.
And I noticed that in the little icons was Sonic Mania, and I was thinking, well, it never got a version for the Wii U, but someone ported it.
Yeah.
So I've installed that and gave that a try. So I've been playing that on the Wii U.
Excellent.
It's nice.
Mm,
Runs perfectly, and yeah, it's a good game. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I really like it.
Yeah, yes, it rarely comes up. That Pretendo, is that going to be able to replace the servers for like Splatoon and Mario Kart when Nintendo rip that down later this year?
Yes, it already works on Mario Kart.
Does it? Fantastic.
It already works for Splatoon, but Splatoon only works for private matches at the moment. Public matches don't work yet, but it's still in development.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And when it's completed, it's going to be free for everyone to use. You can get beta access at the moment if you make a donation. But when when it's ready for prime time, it's going to be free. It's all open source.
Isn't it great that there's just people working on this sort of thing?
I love it.
It's so good. It is so good.
And well, again, going back to Wind Waker, the Wii U version has like a little message in a bottle thing, so you can write a message and chuck it into the sea, and then as you're going along, you see little bottles floating along, and you can pick up messages from other people. That's all working in my version thanks to Pretendo. That's all back and up and running.
Brilliant.
Because that would have gone when the Miiverse shut down. So, yeah, it's just really nice to have that bit of the game that I would have missed out on completely, thanks to the people doing things like the Pretendo project. It's all still there to enjoy. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, I'll try that out myself.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, good. Okay.
So, what about you?
Not a great deal. I've played a few things, but like no more than like 20 minutes of each, really.
Okay.
I've had a little go on. In my hasty notes, I've written Mario versus Zelda. That's not right. That's Mario versus Donkey Kong. They put a demo out on the Switch, the new version of Mario versus Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Have you ever played any of those?
No.
No, they're quite good. It's quite good. As I understand it, it sort of evolved from Donkey Kong 94, I think, on the Game Boy, and then it's kind of evolved as a series since then. But it's basically just a little platform where you play as Mario, and you've got these little toy Marios. And Donkey Kong's Donkey Kong's seen an advert on the TV for this toy Mario. He really wants it, but the toy shop sold out, so he goes directly to the factory and steals them all. So Mario has to come in and rescue all of his own toys. And you get one from each level, and it's just like little kind of mini platform puzzle sections. They're just really sort of quite bite-sized, and they're quite fun. Quite enjoyed it. There's one where it reminded me a bit of Lemmings actually, where you've got there's special levels where you have toys following you, and you can direct them to sort of press buttons and things, and they're like platforms underneath you and you're above. Where you move, they sort of follow you and they hop up and do different things. So
nice, yeah.
Some quite good, yeah. Battle Axe. Have you seen this game?
No.
This is you might have seen it if you don't know it by name. It was really nice pixel art. It's kind of a more recent indie game.
I might. Did you mention this on the last episode?
I've mentioned it at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ringing a bell now. Hang on, Battle Axe. Let me have a look. It's
like a top-down sort of medieval beat 'em up in a way. Very arcadey presentation right from the title screen. It's good. It's good. I realised that I don't know if I can do button mashes anymore because it really takes it out on my hands and my wrists.
Is it really?
It's one of those just tap, 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 tap.
Yeah.
And I was playing it for 20 minutes, and then I was like, oh god, my wrist and hand really hurts. And they've been giving me jip ever since. So I think I'm just getting old for that sort of game, sadly.
Yeah.
I've had it. I had it. Was it last year or the year before with Turtles on the new Turtles beat 'em up.
Yeah.
I just got to a point where I literally can't play this anymore because it's really hurting. And Yeah, it's
I've
depressing.
never been good at like heavy tap 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 games
No.
like track and field or
Oh
things like
yeah,
that where
no,
like oh no, I've never been
no,
good at those.
no. I was really struggling with those. I found that instead of, because I used to use my thumb for those and just tap tap tap,
Mm.
I found I could do it much better if I just get my index finger and just jab it repeatedly. But even that hurts. So
Yeah.
I don't really. Yeah, I have to try and avoid those in future, sadly. But
Or
it
get a
includes,
turbo pad.
or get a turbo pad. Yeah, find there must be, there must be some ways of doing things more easily like that these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Chorus. This is like a 3D aerial combat game in space shooter. It's quite good. It's sort of more of a triple A experience, really. It's kind of like open world, I think. I've only played the tutorial mission. It was nice, but I really couldn't get on with the controls. Like the movement is split between the two sticks. Like you'll use the right stick to go left and right, and the other one to sort of strafe around. And I just, for some reason, it just wasn't clicking with me. I'm sure you can probably just tweak it in the settings. I did have a look, but it looked too complicated. So I don't know. I might park that one. I only got it for like £4, so you know. And Marsupilami. Do you remember Marsupilami, the little
I remember
dude
the
with
cartoon.
the incredibly long tail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of these fanatical bundles with it in, because I amassed loads and loads of these after a while, because you get like pay £1 for like 3 games or something. So I thought I'll give that a go. That's quite fun. It's quite nice. Nice little 2
I
point.
didn't know there was a game.
Yeah, it's quite new. It's like a rebranded looking Marsupilami. I don't know if it accompanies a TV show or something, or if it's just what it is. But it's just like a little fun 2.5D platformer, sort of in the vein of Donkey Kong Country or Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Reminded me of. Yeah, it's nice. It's quite sort of It's quite child friendly. It's not super difficult. I was sort of breezing through some of the levels, but it's nice, nicely presented. Looks great. Not bad for like, less than £1 or whatever I paid for it. It's nice. Those little games can often surprise you, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like the little bundles like that. Sometimes you get them and there's majority of them aren't very notable in
Most
any way,
of them,
but every now and then you get like a little gem in there that just makes the whole thing worth it.
That's right. Yeah, definitely. Most of them I've never even heard of. But you'll see things now. Oh, that looks quite nice actually. It just goes to show how many games there are coming out these days, and they can very easily just slip under the radar, can't they?
Yeah, I think at the moment, I mean, especially this generation, I think the indie scene is where everything exciting is happening at the moment.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I mean, AAA, all sorts of things. I mean, they've got layoffs and everything going on at the moment, and
it's a mess.
I don't know what's that a result of. Possibly a lot of things going wrong. But
I mean, I won't pretend to say I know anything about business, but spending millions or billions developing a game, it can't possibly be sustainable, really. And I don't know if a game needs to be that expensive. Be honest.
That's the thing. I don't know either. I mean, they're getting to ridiculous levels now where they're rivaling like blockbuster movies. It's difficult, and you can see them trying to eke out every possible penny they can from these deluxe versions, and God knows what else.
I know, but like I say, the original Metal Gear Solid team, was relatively small by today's standards. Tomb Raider was like 6 or 7 people.
Yeah.
The original Sonic the Hedgehog team,
it's about 12 people, I think.
About 12 people, and they managed to turn out these really, beloved games. I don't think you need, 5 teams spread across 5 continents and, a credit screen that goes on for 40 minutes because there's so many people listed.
I know.
There comes a point where you're just saying, are all these really absolutely necessary for the game? Or are you just trying to, make a big blockbuster event product? And I think maybe get back to making the core game needs to be the main thing that you focus on. Yeah. And if you've got time for bells and whistles and stuff afterwards, by all means. But again, what do I know about this?
Yeah, I don't know if these layoffs will signal a change in the way the industry does it. Like, if these games just aren't sustainable anymore, I don't know.
I mean, I think the big layoffs was the Blizzard, Microsoft thing merger, wasn't it? But I think a lot of that could just be down to, if one huge company buys another huge company, they don't need two lots of CEOs, two lots of HR teams, two lots, so
Yeah.
whenever you've got two companies sort of joining together like that, they're going to have a bit of sort of deduplication going on. But yeah, it's not a good barometer for the industry as a whole, I don't think, to have that many layoffs and closures coming out.
No, it's dreadful for all these people. Yeah. But and in other news, there was this whole Spec Ops the Line thing recently, wasn't there, where it just disappears, without any warning.
Yeah.
This is another issue, it's a preservation issue, really, isn't it? Like this, I think it's I'd never heard of this game. Did you?
Oh yeah, I played it.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah,
a
I played it
360 game originally.
360 and PS3.
Yeah, and because it's got some licensing stuff in it, those licenses have now expired. So it was still on digital stores like Steam and Xbox Live and etc. But now they've decided to remove it, which happens a lot. But usually you get a bit of warning, don't you?
Yeah, I think the case with this one, it was just suddenly gone.
Suddenly gone, and people were scrambling around to try and get it from like whatever stores had keys left, and people selling it for ridiculous amounts of money on eBay.
I know, they're selling it for stupid amounts on eBay. It's ridiculous.
Isn't that depressing how things like that happen these days, isn't it?
It really is depressing, because I'm not joking. I bet about a week ago today, you could have picked it up for about £5 on eBay.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a game. That's the thing. Everyone talks it up now. Everyone's talking like it was this really watershed moment in gaming, and now it's been lost forever. And it wasn't. I don't think. It was all right.
As someone who knows nothing about the game, it looks like the kind of game that has been done time and time, like dozens and dozens of times since.
It's one of those, like, gameplay-wise, it was fairly unremarkable. There's a very graphic scene in there that shows the effects of white phosphorus in warfare and what it does to people, which I think it was a very ballsy thing to show in the context of other military games around the time, like Call of Duty, tended towards the sort of glorification of war and things like that. For a game to really show no holds barred what these weapons can actually do to innocent people and civilians. So there was a very graphic scene like that. But generally, the bulk of the game was just a standard shooter. It really wasn't, it didn't leave any impact on me, other than every now and then I think, oh, that scene was a bit rough. Yeah. And there's a bit of a twist in the story as well at the end, but honestly, if you could see it coming a mile off. Okay. If I tell you, there's a very famous film that has very much the same sort of story. If I tell you what it is, it'll spoil the twist. But it won't take anyone by surprise, I don't think. But it's an alright game. But the way everyone's talking it up, like it's this pivotal moment in gaming history that's now been lost, I think that's over-egging the pudding a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's more the point, isn't it? The precedent.
Yeah.
That this can happen. Like literally, a game can disappear with no warning.
Well,
just because of licensing issues.
We've been blowing the whistle about digital distribution and the dangers of it for as long as we've been doing the show. And it is just another example of that. It just shows it goes to show that digital is so frail, fragile. It could just be taken away. And that's it. You got no recourse other than to go pay scalpers hundreds of pounds on eBay for a game that you literally wouldn't have paid a £5 for last week. Because if you would have, you'd have had it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So
that price will come down, I'm sure, once the buzz about this goes down. It will just be. I mean, there's hundreds and thousands of games that are in the same position. So there's no reason that should stay special, particularly. But it's just. I mean, at least it had a physical release anyway. There are many games that haven't. And since then, and if the way things are going to carry on, it could be a hell of a lot more. And for licensing reasons, just because they got a music track in them or whatever it is, could just get ripped out instead of someone actually going in and coding it out to make sure people can still play it. It's easier just to take it down. So they will, unfortunately.
Yeah, I made a comment on on Twitter, someone like one of the articles about it, someone talking about it. I just replied and said, I'm selling my copy of Spec Ops: The Line for £500. And someone got really narky with me and replied and said,
I saw that. Yeah,
yeah.
I did see that.
Someone replied and was like, "Oh, what? Renting your mum out ain't doing it for you anymore." I
was debating jumping in and defending you, saying, "Yeah, he is joking," but
I say it's obviously a joke, mate. Come on. Strong feelings from all sides on this one, I think.
Strong feelings. Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, any other news that's happened that you want to talk about?
Well, are you stealing my bit?
What was that bit? Oh, what, me getting nasty about...
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a State of Play the other day, wasn't there? Which I don't normally watch, but I watched it because there was big rumours that there was going to be a Sonic Generations remaster coming. So I thought, okay, I'll tune in and watch that. And it, I was sceptical about it because it was just like the slightest of hints, you know, but people seemed to be on it. I should have known better because it turned out it was true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was doing a bit of a U there, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
I was getting a bit, you know, I was going to say, oh yeah, it'll be, if it comes out, it'll be full of crap that you don't need, and either way you'll be disappointed, is what I said.
Yeah. First of all, it was like, oh, you'll be disappointed, and I jokingly said, oh, you're stealing my bit here, mate. Yeah. And then I don't know if you posted that after or before, and I missed it. But then you were going on about how it's going to have all the extra DLC and bits you don't need. I'm like, hang on a minute. You just told me you weren't stealing. But look, this is word for word what I would say. No, I'm not having this. Not on my watch.
I was joking. That's you misinterpreting a joke. Now I was joking about the bit thing. It is pretty much your bit, you know.
It is my bit. Yeah, I'm very territorial about this.
Sorry about that.
Wow.
I thought it's just the new popular thing, you know. Be all negative about stuff.
Well, no. Imagine if I came on this show and started being all positive about everything and just having nothing but nice things to say about games and shining a spotlight on indie developers and being all nice. Yeah. People wouldn't know where they were. You got to stick to your lane. You do the good. You do the nice stuff. I do all the miserable stuff. We got a good thing going here.
All right. Fair enough. I didn't know it was that.
All right. Well, housekeeping. That's all.
Yeah. Now that bone's been picked. Yeah. All right.
No, I mean,
jokes. I'll keep my negative opinions to myself next time.
No, I mean, jokes aside. But it is. What your is that basically your thoughts on it, or do you think it's going to be interesting or not?
I think it's going to be fairly interesting. They're adding this sort of mini, which I think is going to be like a sort of Bowser's Fury to Mario 3D World.
That's the kind of impression I got from it as well. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything too revolutionary. I think it's just going to be a few extra bits.
It's a thing for Shadow to do, basically, to relive all of his stuff that he's done, which has obviously proven incredibly popular in the past, as we all know. So yeah, seems a strange choice, but you know, okay, fair enough, whatever. But it looks like the Generations bit they haven't messed around with. Like, it looks the same, unlike the Colours one, which was completely messed around with and redone and all.
Well, yeah, stuff. I think. Yeah, because
that's what I was worried about, really.
They rebuilt it in Unity, didn't they? I think
it was in Godot engine.
Was it?
Yeah, which is like the first time it was commercially used, but it was like a modified version of it, interestingly. But it didn't really hold up to the original, and I was concerned that if they did the same with Generations and then replaced like the existing Steam version with this new version, that would be a disaster. But it's coming in as a separate version. And as far as anyone can tell, the Generations bit looks like it's going to be pretty much the same.
Maybe just turn off updates on Steam just to be safe.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, catch that later, I guess. So, anything else?
Yeah. Sage.
Sonic
Amateur Gaming. Yeah.
Is that coming now?
Yeah.
Is it? And I know Rage is, which is like the version where everyone just makes like stupid fan games.
No, and the theme is Sonic Mania 2.
Yeah, that's Rage.
Oh, is that Rage?
That's Rage. This is a different one. Yeah. No, it's a tongue-in-cheek version where they make like the worst version of Sonic Mania 2.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, sorry.
You've
misinterpreted that.
Oh no, you're joking. Are you serious?
Yeah. Go and look it up. It's Rage 2024, and people just put like, you know, I don't know. I've never looked at it before, really. But as far as my understanding goes, they just make, oh yeah, this will look a fun Sonic Mania 2, and it's like, I don't know, Sonic homing attacking an endless stream of enemies, that sort of thing, you know.
Oh no, it's really put a downer on me. I was really excited about that.
Oh right, so you thought it'd be almost like a game jam where everyone makes the perfect Sonic Mania 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I really thought it was going to be, you know, the community coming together to show Sega how it's done again. But no.
No,
apparently
no,
not.
Sorry, not. No. I mean, you could start that if you want. There's nothing stopping you from making, like, encouraging everyone to make the perfect Sonic Mania 2. You know, we could try it on this podcast.
I mean, I've been doing that since day one.
You have been doing that. That is literally what you do a lot, yes. So, yeah.
You know, I never shut up about it. I don't know what more I can do.
That's true, yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose we better move on then. That's taking the wind out of my sails.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Right. So the Legendary Starfy. Then, should we talk about that?
I suppose.
Yeah.
Video Game Book Club.
Welcome back. The Legendary Starfy is the game that we are talking about this month. It is developed by Tose, T-O-S-E, their name is. However we want to pronounce that. They're the ones who made it. It's also published by Nintendo. This is a Nintendo DS game that was released in Japan in July 2008, US in July 2009, and Australia in October 2009. So never actually made it to our shores.
No.
But I think any of those versions can be found boxed relatively cheaply, 20 to 30 quid on eBay. A brief glance told me. So this is a 2D underwater platformer starring the titular Starfy, who is a yellow starfish who is Prince of Pufftop Palace. When a rabbit-like creature called Bunston falls from the sky into the palace, Starfy and his clam friend Mo attempt to help him regain his memories by gathering his missing shard pieces that are scattered across the oceans, before they fall into the hands of a group of pirates called the Terrible Trio. So, fairly unknown game. I think I'd seen the box art somewhere, but I didn't know it by name. I haven't really heard much about it. It's actually the fifth in the Legendary Starfy series.
Yeah, that surprised me.
But this is the only one to leave Japan. So, Densetsu no Starfy 1, 2, and 3, they were all Game Boy Advance games from 2002 onwards. And then the fourth made the jump to the DS, and this one made it out to everyone else, or most people anyway. Apparently Nintendo considered the series too Japanese up until the fifth one. So, make of that what you will. So how far did you get in this one?
I honestly don't know. I played it. The title screen. The bit after.
Right.
No, I'm joking.
Are you going to be really worried?
No, I don't. I played it for about a few hours. A good. Few
Okay,
hours.
that's fine. That's what I did as well. I mean, I got to the fifth. I did the fifth world. I started the sixth world. So I don't think I got that far. I think that's a fair old chunk of it.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's a colourful 2D game. 2D sprites mixed with a little bit of 3D in the background. Starfy is the shape and colour of Ristar crossed with the cuteness of Kirby, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely see because that's what attracted me to it really. When people was describing it as being like a Kirby-like game, I thought, you know, like cute little star, add some Kirby elements. That sounds lovely. And so it was. Yeah,
so it's an underwater platformer. I mean, that's what it's marketed as. I would say, having played about the 5 worlds, I would say 40 to 50% of it is out of water. So it's not like you're under there all the time.
No.
And when you're out, it kind of behaves like a regular platformer, really. Underwater, you can obviously sort of dash around freely. You don't have to worry about platforms and things. You've got an unlimited supply of air, being a starfish, so he can just swim around to his heart's content, really.
Yeah. The underwater sections remind. I mean, there are. It's not really what I would call an overpopulated genre, the underwater platformer.
No.
But it reminds me, in a lot of ways, of Echo the Dolphin, the way he handles and
yes.
the way the levels are designed. You know, little tunnels going here and there, and.
Do you know? I hadn't thought of that, but you are absolutely right. Yeah, it is very similar. That it would be another underwater platformer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and there's like little, sections in. They were always annoyed me in Echo the Dolphin. They work much better in here, where you have to like knock a rock or a boulder around underwater. And it put me in the mind of Echo the Dolphin quite a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it probably had a little bit more physics capability there to sort of knock it around. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So the first world I found, it took me a while to get into this game. I didn't find the first world particularly gripping. I think the age it's marketed at is quite young, I would say. In general, it's quite an easy game. I mean, there are bits where I died a few times, but in general, it's not going to challenge you, I don't think. And the first world doesn't really do anything to challenge you whatsoever. It's very, very simple. There isn't really much in the way of interesting mechanics to work with. It's mostly underwater.
No,
the boss is really easy.
Yeah, I did think that this is when I was playing through the first world. I did think this is going to be one of those games where we've got nothing to talk about.
Me too. Yeah. Luckily, it sort of picks up after that. But also, what put me off a little bit was all the talking and the characters. A lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wanted to get on with it. You know, I wanted it to be a little bit more silent. Because there's loads of characters to meet. I got to say, I didn't find a lot of them very interesting or entertaining.
I think Starfy is the main event,
and he's the only one that doesn't.
I can take or leave, really.
He's the only one that doesn't talk, I believe.
Yeah.
That's probably why we like it. It's all there's no speech. It's all done through speech bubbles. There's just a lot of it to get through. Like you'll swim around, and obviously, fair enough. There's some tutorials and stuff to explain initially. There's characters that do things at the bottom of the screen, like you can pick one up that will highlight when there's treasure nearby. Fair enough, but you know you don't need to go on about it. So yeah, I found that a bit annoying, and it does keeps happening throughout the game. But at least there's gameplay to sort of back it up in the worlds after that.
Yeah, but we were talking about like the levels there's some levels you push the rocks around, and the bottom screen is like the little mermaid. I forget her name. She's like, try pushing the rocks around to open the path. I get it. I get it. I've just done it. It's fine.
There is a bit of hand holding there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There was one section with the rock. This is in World 2, I think, with the rock pushing mostly. It's like the hot spring world. And you've got a rock that's falling down, and you need to drop it down this stream that's going upwards. The rock falls down the stream, but you can't go down the stream. It'll push you back up. So you've got to follow this path around to the left, meet the rock at the bottom, and knock it through this barrier before it falls all the way down out of view. It's a fairly obvious puzzle, but there's your clam friend Mo there sort of explaining it in quite a lot of detail, and even saying that if you lose the boulder, you can just leave the area and come back and it'll be there. That's kind of intrinsic knowledge for any gamer, really, isn't it? If something is broken, you just leave the area and then come back and it respawns.
Yeah.
So that was a kind of an example of. I mean, fair enough. Games can be aimed at younger kids. I'm not saying they can't. That's good in a way. It's kind of a platform that I might introduce my daughter to. And it's really good, but it does exemplify the sort of age group they're kind of going for, really. But despite that, I found quite a lot of interesting things to do in the levels. They get sort of new things. I like any game that introduces a lot of new mechanics that are specific to that world. It just makes them feel a bit more, personal. really.
Well, yeah, it makes it feel like it's not just a, you're not just
not
playing
just a
through a
series
reskin of the old level again.
Not just a series of courses with just where they vary things up a little bit, but you might see recurring stuff. I like to go into a world and know that everything there is unique. So in the World 3, which is a snowy level, for instance, there are these snowmen that get built, and if you knock them down, these little penguins appear and start rebuilding them.
Yeah.
Did you? I thought that was really cute. There's in all the levels actually there are little hidden mini games you can do. Like for example, there's this one in the snow world where you have to the snowman everywhere, and you have to keep as many knocked down as possible before the penguins can rebuild them. And then you at the end of the time limit, if you've done enough of them, if you've kept enough of them down at that particular moment, you if you complete that mini game, you unlock another level in the world map within that world. And there's quite a few instances of that. So there's quite a lot of content in here. There's about four or five levels in each world, and then however many mini extra ones there are like that you can unlock, and there's like treasure chests and things to find. So there's quite a lot going on. I would say the treasure chests are always something disappointing though. It's just like someone's diary entry.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't care, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't want to go back to moaning about Zelda, because I do like Zelda. I really like Zelda.
Tibbs honestly wants to remind you that he actually does like Zelda, despite the fact that he's got about 20 issues with it that really wind him up.
Yeah, honestly, I do really like it. But it annoys me if I'll go find like a hidden path or something. I'll go off and find some chests. I think it's going to be something really good, and it's just rupees.
Yeah, it's just rupees. Yeah,
it's just rupees. Yeah. Don't like it. But yeah, it's like that. It's like sometimes it's just. I wanted something a bit more.
Yeah, the reward needs to be, appropriate for the amount of challenge that it's taken to get you there. Yeah. Did you get as far as the forest world, the World 4?
No. I think the ice was as far as I got.
Okay, that's fair. So that introduced quite a few interesting things. You got like bouncy muds. It's mostly a platforming one, actually, out of the water platforming. So you got sort of mud to bounce on. You got these huge falling raindrops that you can swim within, and because they're falling, you got to sort of quickly dash between them to get upwards.
Cool,
yeah, it's really nice. It's the kind of thing that not every platformer could do based on their mechanics, because he's got this dash move that he sort of dashes forwards. Incidentally, if you do that dash too many times, he gets dizzy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
For an annoyingly long period of time.
Annoyingly long time.
Yes, he's just spinning around. I get it. Can we get on with please? And then you've got these sort of foggy sections where you have to pick up a glowing mushroom, and they sort of light the way and they dissolve stuff. And then after that, there's a cavern level where they've got the obligatory minecart stuff. So you're riding on a minecart and you've got to jump over gaps and things. And there's even a boss where there's a boss in the background with his own minecart, and you've got a cannon on your minecart to fire, cannonballs at him.
That's nice.
Yeah, the bosses were quite cool. Some of them were quite a challenge. It was good. There's nothing like really, really groundbreaking here. Like each world had a few things to do. A lot of it you kind of seen before, but. There's nothing. Yeah, it's a good, solid platformer.
I was going to say it's just a good platformer. I think.
Yeah.
Given it's not one of the most expensive games, but it is in terms of the DS. When you start getting to the sort of £30 or £40 and above, that tends to be the price bracket at the moment, at least, reserved for really collectible, really sort of special games or desirable games. So I was expecting maybe something a little bit more, given how. Like the price of it and how people sort of seem to really like it and are after this game. I thought there might be a bit more to it than what I played, but I will, like I say, I didn't play to completion. I didn't get that far into it because it couldn't really compete with my attention with Zelda.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice, charming little character, Starfy.
He's really cute. Did you ever leave him idle for a bit?
Yes.
He gets in a sleeping bag. It's adorable. It's really, really cute. That's like one of the best things he does.
I love his animation. The way he sort of just trots along with his two little pointers, his little pointy legs, and he's just really well animated and lovely.
Yeah, it's worth noting that actually that unlike Ristar, who has obviously long arms and things, he's just a star.
He's just a star.
Like the points of the star are his arms and legs, and he's got a top one for his head, and with a mouth and eyes in the middle, and that's him. He's just a star. But the way he sort of moves around and like that is quite cool. It's like a man in a starfish suit, if you imagine. Like the way it bends and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cute. Very adorable. Someone needs to make like a list of the best idle animations, don't they, in games? Because there's so many great ones, and that's a really good one. That should be on the list, I think.
Yeah, that should be actually. Yeah, I'm just thinking now. Yeah, there's some good idle animations.
Obviously, you got the infamous Sonic tapping, which sort of almost started the idle animation thing. I think, sort of, didn't it? But and Earthworm Jim had a few, I think.
Earthworm Jim, yeah.
I can't think of many others off the top of my head, but there definitely are some good ones out there. Someone needs to get on that. Did you like the special abilities that the Bunston gives you? Like he gets in like a suit.
Yeah.
So there's a dragon one, and in the ice world you get a seal one.
Yeah, the seal one.
Seal one was entertaining to play as because it sort of increases the speed. It makes makes it feel more like sort of the speed of Echo the Dolphin, I suppose, when he's dashing around.
Yeah.
Underwater. There's two more later on in the game. I got one of them. I didn't get as far as the other one. There's also a chicken who creates a sound wave that destroys enemies, and a ghost. I didn't get that far to find out what that was. So that was quite nice. Nice little change pace. He looks cute in that sort of the dragon one where he's got like a patch in his stomach for his face to poke out.
Yeah, he's a nice character. I like him. I wonder. I didn't look into what the other games were like in the series, but I wonder if they're just if it's all much of the same thing, or if it's like a Kirby where there's all different games and it's just he's the common factor.
I didn't look into a great deal either. I probably should have done actually, but I think the impression I got is that it's largely similar. Someone being interviewed about this game when they released said this game was a culmination of all of their best ideas from the previous games. So I'm guessing that suggests that it's kind of similar. But they did 5 of them, so they obviously really liked it. Anything else to talk about? Not really. I wasn't blown away by the music. I thought it was serviceable.
Yeah, it did the job.
But some of it was a bit repetitive, especially with the forest level, which you didn't get to, but it's extremely repetitive, that one. So there's a bit of a shame there, a bit of a missed opportunity. But and another thing I hated is the respawn of enemies, where you just literally go off the screen, come back a bit, and they're back again.
They're back again.
I swear these are problems that we've solved since the NES era. You're like... enemies coming back after you defeat them, just when you wander away. I mean, that's not good, is it? Kind of annoying. They're rarely annoying, the enemies. They just sort of float about, and they're easy to bop, but kind of weird. Yeah. Other than that, I can't really think of anything else to say. It's just a sort of nice platformer.
It's just a nice platformer, yeah. I can't say I really liked it. I can't say I disliked it. I thought it's just a good platformer.
It's a nice middle of the road platformer, yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I often say we need more. It sounds like I'm saying it in a pejorative sense, but we need more middle of the road games.
Yeah, it's nice to just sink your time into something that isn't the best thing you've ever played.
Yeah,
you can't constantly be playing the best game that you've ever played, can you?
Exactly. It's not. It's not trying to be, this jaw-dropping technical marvel, and it's obviously not just a bit of shovelware chucked out to make a quick penny.
No,
there's
effort.
Just the middle of the road.
There's loads of effort put into it to make it look nice. It all plays really nicely. It looks great. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's just a good game.
Yeah, it's a bit like that Marsupilami I was talking about earlier. There's nothing special at all, just a sort of run-of-the-mill platform, but just a well-made one. Nothing wrong with that. The DS has a huge library, doesn't it?
Oh, massive.
And I feel like there's loads of little gems tucked away in there, or even just reasonably good games. I was looking through when I was going through my phase where I was just gathering loads of ROMs as quickly as I could. There's so many games that I'd never even seen before. A lot of them are tie-ins for kids' TV shows and things like that. and especially that era, like the kids' TV shows I've literally never heard of in my life. But you know,
that's the thing, because I think that the main audience, I think, for the DS, well, you know, came to be children. Because I think a lot of parents bought it for their kids.
Yeah.
You know, rather than one of the full-blown big consoles, it's something they could give them to play in the back of the car on a trip or something. And I think as a result of that, a lot of the games that got the most attention were, you know, movie tie-ins and
licensed
kids
games.
tie-ins. And
There's got to be some good ones in there, though, I reckon. Like, there's obviously some stinkers, but you know, occasionally you get a licensed game that doesn't realise it's supposed to be a licensed game, and it actually ends up being quite good.
Well, yeah, Aladdin.
Aladdin, yeah, absolutely, perfect example. Yeah, that's the target market for DS, and people who like to hold it on its side and play like Sudoku and things like that.
Yeah,
that was a big part of their marketing push, wasn't it, at the time?
Yeah, and oddly, I've because my mum bought a DS from someone someone where she worked was selling a DS. My mum was never into games at all, and I went round there to visit her once, and she was like, "Oh, I've bought a Nintendo DS." I was like, "What?" And it was someone in work was selling it, and she bought it just for Nintendogs.
Oh really? Oh wow!
Like she really wanted Nintendogs.
Yeah.
But she got some other games with it, and one of them's like how to stop smoking for the Nintendo DS, and the other was like Noel Edmonds' Teleaddicts.
Oh, nice.
It's like Teleaddicts hasn't been on the TV for about 3 decades. So,
yeah, I don't think it was on. It wasn't on in the noughties, was it?
No,
Teleaddicts? No way.
I mean, have imagined it would. No,
that was his Deal or No Deal period, so it can't.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just this stack of really random games, and it's I don't know. Yeah, it's a very odd audience, a very odd library for the DS. Very eclectic.
Yes, it is very eclectic, isn't it? And as was the Wii as well. That was Nintendo's period where they were, you know, very successfully, to be fair, marketing it at people who'd never played games before, and it seemed to work for a while.
I actually like buying what you would call shovelware games for the Wii, and I don't know why. There
is something quite charming about a lot of them. Isn't there? Yeah.
I bought. I want to get the name right. Hang on. It's for the Wii. I imported it from America as well, which was probably not the most sensible use of money that I've ever had.
Importing shovelware from America.
Yes, it was. I'll tell you what it was called. It's called Jerry Rice and Nitus's Dog Football. And it's literally American football played with dogs. But
what drew you to this game?
Just the cover art.
Okay.
Just the cover art is amazing. It's just these dogs in American football uniforms playing football, and it's officially sponsored by the Pet Sport League as well, which
nice.
I thought,
yeah.
you know, that's not an organisation known to attach their name to subpar, quality
absolutely.
products. But I played it for about 5 minutes and realised that I haven't got the first idea how to play American football.
Well, that would have been my first question. Yeah, I mean,
I ain't got a clue. I don't know what's
fair
going
enough, but I mean, presumably the dogs need to know how to play it. So.
Well, the dog, yeah.
The dogs know, they're just waiting for your commands, really.
They were just waiting for my command, and I was telling them to do things that would say, no, you can't do that. I was like, why can't I do that?
Seems quite complicated, doesn't it, American football?
Yeah. So, I played it for about 5 minutes to see the dogs, and then it's been put back on the shelf, I'm afraid. And I'd be lying if I said I have any inclination to learn about American football. So,
just to play a game featuring dogs playing American football.
Featuring dogs. And if we're being brutally honest, I doubt it's the best representation of American football, even if I was into it. So
dogs or otherwise, yeah.
There's probably better games out there if you're into into American football. But I like it. I like games like that. I'll buy them. I bought the Burger King ones as well. The Burger King.
You did, you talked about that before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Sneak King, yeah.
So I love stuff like that. Yeah, pile it on.
Jolly good.
Keep your Uncharted's and your Tomb Raiders. I'll have the dog football.
The dog football, yeah. Should we go on with the next month's book club pick, shall we?
Yes. Is it dog football?
No, it's not. Funny enough.
Oh,
Imagine if I did. Tibbs, you're not going to believe this. No, I've got I've got two options, but you're not going to pick them, right? Let me explain.
Oh, okay.
No. It's going to be decided by fate, essentially. The first option is Berserk Boy, which is I've had it on an incoming indie before. It's coming out early next month. It's the sort of Mega Man Sonic cross 2D platformer. Looks really nice, nicely animated and everything. But
first game's one that's not out yet. Okay.
Well, no. Well, listen.
Okay.
Right, it's coming out in early March. I have applied for a pair of keys, early access keys for us.
A parakeet?
No, a pair of keys.
Oh, a pair of keys.
Not a parakeet, a pair of keys for us to get early access, possibly. And if we get that within the next week or two, we'll be playing that.
Okay.
If we don't get that, or if we only get one of them, because they've got a limited amount of them, in fairness, we'll be playing Ape Escape on the PlayStation.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I like Ape Escape.
Yeah, I've never played it.
Oh, it's lovely.
It looks quite a fun game.
Oh, it's great.
So we'll be playing. It sounds like you want to play that a lot more than the other one. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, if we don't play it this time, I think it's going to come up sooner or later. Yeah.
If we don't play it this time, I can make it my next book club pick. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Berserk Boy, we're hopefully going to get, fingers crossed. Obviously, if a couple of weeks go by and nothing happens, then we'll play Ape Escape. And if I get a key, just one key, I'll give it a play and give it a full review as well. But yeah, those are the two possibilities decided by fate. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. One of those next month.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a good selection.
Cool. Okay. In the meantime, you can get in touch with us via the gift of email, podemup@gmail.com, via the gift of Twitter @podemup, and podemup.live is our website, which for some reason I can't access, but you assure me that you can, so I think hopefully it should be fine. Let me just try.
It's fine.
Let me just try to see if it's come back. No, it's not coming back. That's weird, isn't it?
That is weird, because I've checked it on several devices.
Yeah, I've checked it on my phone as well. It's fine. It's just my laptop
fine.
here for some reason, so I don't know why that is. If you can't access it, do let us know, but I think it should be alright.
There is another way you can access it, though, you remember?
Yeah, through the... there's a really long Spotify podcast link, isn't there?
No, TerraPlayer.
Oh, TerraPlayer, yeah. Well, you can't access that site, but you can access our past episodes via terraplayer.com, which is a lovely online app thing, which has loads of gaming podcasts and loads of gaming music stations.
Yes, and they've been very generous to feature us, and we didn't mention them last episode. I felt a bit bad.
Yeah, I forgot to mention them, didn't we? But yes, they always give us a retweet and everything. So yeah, good old TerraPlayer. Go and check it out. It's really, really good. Also, we also didn't mention the last couple of episodes. The Steam keys, we're still giving them away.
Oh,
we haven't stopped. We haven't stopped.
Yeah, I sent you over a couple of Steam keys, and you were like, "Oh, I forgot about that." To be honest,
I forgot all about that. Yeah, no, there's loads. That if you just get in touch with us, go on the email or the Twitter from the podemup@gmail.com or @podemup, and just tell us how long you've been listening for and what you listen to us on. You can help yourself to a free Steam key on the house. No charge, nothing.
Even if your answer is, I've been listening to you for about 5 minutes and got fed up at Tibbs and then shut it off, that still qualifies.
Still qualifies. Yeah, we want to hear from you. We've got, what have we got here? We've got Disco Elysium, The Final Cut, A Short Hike, Biomutant, Death Stranding, 2 Point Campus, Hell Pie, Chivalry 2, Hotshot Racing, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, loads of stuff. Loads and loads of stuff. Big games, small games, some as big as your head. We've got them. So they're just sitting there. No one's taking them. We want you to come and take them off of us, because they're just building up and up. Tibbs just keeps getting more of them, chucking them on the pile. So yeah, please get in touch with us. Tell us, those things that I mentioned earlier, but also tell us, what you like about the show. Any book club ideas, anything at all would be great to hear from people. Be really nice. I'm sure I meant to say something else, but I've forgotten what it is. So, I guess that's it then.
Yep.
Yep. By the way, last time we were talking about The Simpsons, I couldn't believe I couldn't think of a good Simpsons quote. I think I was focused on finding my favourite Simpsons quote, but I was listening back and I think, come on, I've literally been doing nothing but finding Simpsons quotes prior to that. So I'm going to come up with one now, okay?
Okay.
I hate it when the waffles stick together. Sticking together is what good waffles do. There you go. That's a good Simpsons quote there to end on.
Good gravy. Thank you. It's just brown and water.
So I really enjoyed that episode, actually. It's great.
Yeah.
It was great because I haven't been watching a lot of Simpsons in the last few years, obviously, because my wife doesn't enjoy it and doesn't like it on the TV. So I sort of fell out of it, really. So it was nice to watch a few episodes again, go back to some lovely times.
I do worry the last episode. I was going to say it was just us laughing at our own jokes, but it wasn't even our own jokes. It was us laughing at snippets of Simpsons references.
Yeah, that you wouldn't get if you didn't know what they were.
No.
Most people will know them, especially because they're all from the classic era, and everyone knows all those ones. Yeah. Go back and listen to that if you haven't. It was a really good episode, and it had the Podemup Awards in it as well.
Yeah.
Incidentally, we need to make another trophy for Capcom now, don't we?
Yeah, we do actually. The offer remains eternally open.
Eternally open. You've got 2 of them now. You've amassed 2 trophies from us now, Capcom. You've got to accept them. Tibbs is going out to the what's that shop that you're going to make a trophy from?
Well, I think they shut down. I'm going to have to go. There was a little engraving place down the road. I honestly think they're closed now. I'm going to have to find somewhere else to get a trophy engraved.
Get a trophy engraved for Capcom. Just send it to their head office.
Yeah, it'll probably be like a darts board or something, because that's all they seem to have. But it's a thought that counts.
Yeah, there you go. Thought that counts. Okay, well, we'll see you next time, where we'll be playing either Berserk Boy or Ape Escape. So yeah, catch you then.
Actually.
Oh.
No, I'm just thinking about Ape Escape.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if anyone sells those hats that the apes wear with the lights on.
Maybe. Oh yeah, it's got like a little siren on their head, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if they haven't done a promotional one of those,
they must have done.
Oh, I'm Ape Escape hat. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah.
Hang on. Ape Escape hat. Anyway, see you later, everyone.
Bye. We're just looking
bye.
at
Ape Escape hat. No, I don't look like it. It's just people cats.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
I'll find out by the next episode.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.